Okay, working on the level. Let's get started. So we're going to start by, let me do a save as and just put it somewhere like I should have a Houdini folder. We can call this, probably need another folder level because I've got, okay, and then this one will just be the level. Okay, so we have this, and I want to say, that's it. I don't think we have to do anything. Hip is pointing to, what directory is this? Okay, I think that was the right spot already. Yeah, okay, this should be fine. All right, so, okay, cool. Just wanted to make sure that was right. All right, so let's do, I think it's object. No, it's called geo. So we can start with the geo node, and then go click on it and go into the SOP level. And then working off the inspiration here, we'll start with a room. And so we can get that room a couple of ways, I suppose. We can start with like a cube and then cut it. We could separate the floors out, can make different like the walls different pieces. This is actually a better shot here. Could do a plane for the floor. Could do, what else is there? So these are rectangles. I can do a couple cubes there. These little stands, kind of toss them in. Could throw in doorways by doing a Boolean operation. And then we can do these walls here. I'm trying to think of like if there's anything else, but might just be doing cubes all over the place. It's just primitive. Could be more efficient to do a plane for the floor, like if we want to texture it later. What are you called in this? It's not called a plane. Primitive meatball. Oh, I think they call it grid. That's right. Yeah, it's called a grid. Here we go. So this could be like the floor, for example, and then try and get just sort of eyeball so make it like wider than it is high. So that's not super helpful. All right, so that maybe is, and I don't know what orientation to expect just yet, so I'm just gonna let it be this for now, and then maybe when we export it, we convert the axis so that it's facing the right way. Can increase this so that if we have some fancy texture stuff, then you can take advantage of it. So I'm gonna maybe make these numbers match. So these are meters, I believe. Let me turn this on. And this one actually honors meters. So if we make this in a room, if a person is about 0.5 meters, and that room is, I don't know, average house size, 200 feet. Let's just get some kind of rough. And divided by 3, so 66 maybe. Like, so we can just say like rough it up to 75. And so this is that's about 75 meters. And so that might be a good measure for like size. I mean, even that could be too big, like potentially. So I don't know, we'll just kind of feel it out. Because a human model is going to be, let me grab one. And so I think, what is this, x-axis? So two heights, 0.5 here. So this will kind of be our little human model reference. So this is just typical. It's really tall, actually, like for a person. But so maybe this is a good size. Camera angle, can imagine it something like this. And just expand this out a little bit further. What do you? All right, so you're the wrong direction. I don't really need you to be big. But then this, we don't want it to be as deep as it is. Yeah, something like that. So about half. So if it's 75, and then about 30 just in depth, and then that sort of gives us that simple frame, and maybe deeper. We want a little bit more space to work out with stuff. So okay, so here's our stuff, and this is sort of like just you know, floor size template, and then we can also call this guy human template, and just kind of keep these over here as a reference for later. And we can keep it on this like transparent mode, so we just have a, you know, something to work with. Okay, so now for the efficient stuff, the grid. Okay, I think the numbers don't line up. Oh, they do. Okay, I think I'm just so used to Unity not lining up that I thought this was the same way. And then we're going to go ahead and I'm going to copy this parameter. What are you? Your columns. That's Y. Trying to figure out which one corresponds to which one. Okay, yeah, wrong way. All right. So it's you. So we're going to copy this parameter, drop you in here, just so that it keeps the fidelity. So as we increase it, it should keep the same distance. That might not. That might be dumb, but it should keep it like even. So like the more we increase this, then it'll, you know, it just kind of keeps it smooth, and so we don't have to keep messing with both parameters. We just let it increase the number of points on the mesh here. So this is, you know, that's pretty good. That's a pretty high detailed floor. We may not even need that, but I figure just thinking of like pathfinding algorithms and stuff, you know, sometimes the mesh gets used, and so the fidelity of the steps in that pathfinding algorithm would be somewhat reasonable. You know, this is about the size of a person, so you know it's roughly tiled space here, and so we can reuse this. We can use this mesh potentially for that, or textures and, you know, warping. We can warp the floor, and just the more points we have, the better to mess with. So we can call this floor, and there we go. And then I'm just gonna save it. Control S. All right, what's next? Walls. Walls will be good. So cube, just get you going there. Let's oh, is that no? Yeah, I don't think that's right. You don't, doesn't need input from that. We'll just end up doing what's a merge. Actually, I want to do it in this order, like so. And you know, the walls, I got a couple ideas. Like, you know, I could just do a cube, a big fat one, and then boolean it to get the the thing cut out. So that's one thing. I really like that little curve thing. I do want to keep that, so I'm going to try and accomplish that. I think maybe I should do that part first. So what we have is like a cylinder. So let me just get a wall so I can look at it. Okay, so I'm just going to get, you know, manual with this because, you know, this isn't really that's not what I want. I want to scale you. Where's your, oh, okay, it's like way over here. The controls are scale. Well, okay, what am I doing? I kind of know the size already. It's probably faster to just type it. I don't know what the point is of manually adjusting. -20. And then your height is, that's going to be a Y scale increase, and I don't know how it's all to make this, so I just got to feel it out. Um, okay, so there's an offset here. So that's like pretty massive. Like, I think that's too tall. 25 meters high, so 10, something like that. It was just an offset of 5. And so what we could do is copy this parameter so we don't have to keep tweaking both. Paste the relative reference, multiply it times 0.5, and that'll, so now when we increase the size, whoops, it should just, you know, intelligently place it where we want relative to its size, so that's nice. Okay, this still might be too short. I don't know, like what is that? 10 meters is, I mean, I guess that is kind of high for a wall. Actually, yeah, that's big. That's big. If we look at the picture, and actually, before we look at the picture, let me fix the human template. We need to bump you up because you need to be standing on the floor, not halfway. Yeah, something like that. So our reference is better. And then let's move our human to the wall to kind of get a better feel for it. Okay, so here's a guy looking at a eventual picture spot. And so, you know, the picture maybe is the same size of him and that's big. And then here we have a picture. of an actual one. And so like just kind of a rough estimate, they're about the same size as a cursor. So we can say that's about 2 meters. And so 4. Okay, so maybe a little bit shorter than 10. So that's like 6 roughly measured here. And so just something like that is a little bit more, maybe a little bit more accurate. Okay, so we'll do that for the height of the wall. Then we will put in the other walls on the side here, and I guess we can leave this one open. Like we don't have to. We can either. I don't know. I can kind of. Maybe we can do it, but we should export it as a separate mesh so that we could put a transparent cull or cull it out. Because like the camera is going to be looking like maybe like this. And maybe we can leave the wall in, but I do feel like it needs to be a separate. It needs to be a separate mesh almost. So let me do just a transform to copy this, and so we can kind of do this, and we can say front wall. But yeah, I don't. Maybe we don't want to merge it just yet. We can just look at it, and then we're effectively copying it, and so we can just move this over. Which was that 40? So I can just say 40. And then so what we can do is make sure we export it separately, and then that would allow us to treat it differently, like texture-wise. So okay, so there's that. Then you don't need a ceiling necessarily. So back wall, and then I can add a little note here so I remember if I forget. Plan to export separately for visual shader, transparent shader treatment, semi-transparency. So yeah, that's kind of, that's the thought there. So we'll see how that goes. That's pretty easy. It's easy now because they're all just cubes. So let's go cube, really just getting the plan down. Okay, same deal. Like we know that you're going to be on the z-axis, you're going to be 40 tall, and we can slide you over here to some number, whatever half of 75 is. Yeah, that seems fine. 37, sure. And then the height, I'm just going to steal it from this guy. So I'm going to grab this. And then we're going to grab this number, copy parameter. I like to make these, whenever they're like parameter drivers, I just like to make them green, even though they're not necessarily super important. But it's easier to find them. Did I press the wrong thing? Paste relative reference. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so then we get the same height, and then I can just adjust the back wall and get, modify all the heights at once. And then this guy, we'll do a transform for the other wall just to copy it over. And then this one we do want as a part of the regular geo. Left wall, and then we'll say right wall. And this we should just bump over 75. We can like get crazy with the parameters where it's like, yeah, the size of this, we can copy this parameter and move it over, translate. I think it's this x-axis, base relative reference. And then, we get this. And so like you kind of like can resize things and it all just adjusts. And yeah, but I didn't parameterize absolutely everything. Like, this could be parameterized to this number, which is going to be too big, right? It's going to like shoot it way off. And so first off, it needs to be negative, and it's still way off. And then like multiply times 0.5, and then we get that. So then now that's parameterized. And so just driving this floor would change. So if we change so many things at once, so it's like, oh, see, like that adapts, but then this wall doesn't adapt. So we could mess with the back wall, and it's like, here's this size, so let's drop that number in here, base relative reference. And I usually don't do all this. I usually just kind of just kind of roll with it, but I figured little mini tutorial stuff. Might as well throw it in there. Okay, so here's our somewhat adaptable room, and we can kind of tweak it a little bit easier. And this number here, 40. Um, let's see, where's 40 being used? I guess this guy is probably. Yeah, this is interesting. If you blank it out, it doesn't work. So yeah, I got to do this. So this we're going to paste relative reference, and so we'll change it to y because that's the value that we want. C, and then multiply it times 0.5, and that's the wrong way. Negative invert, and that did not do what I wanted. That's the y-axis because I clicked on the wrong thing. This one. There we go. Okay. So then now we have that. So this should all kind of pan out, and then this guy can be semi-transparent. And here's our our gallery room. I can use a little scene. I don't know what to do about because the camera is going to probably, if we're doing a top-down view, there's going to be something out here that's going to be visible, and I'm not sure what to do there. Like, we just make it black, or yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe there's something to do out here, trees or something like. Yeah, I'm not sure. Or maybe they can go outside the room. Not sure. Okay, so speaking of going outside the room, doors. Let's get some door frames. So I'm gonna create a little network box here. Let me save it, and we're gonna just say room. Okay, now next up, doors. So let's get some booleans going on for this. Maybe we have another network box already, and it just. Okay, so we're gonna grab a cube, and I'm gonna do that arch thing. Hope if I get time to do it, I'll run through that real quick. Left door. Maybe it looks like it's mirrored. I'll just say doors, doorway. So we can come here, and then of course this isn't going to do squat, so I need to let me make this super wide. So it's going to be actually I think I can paste that parameter reference still in my make it super wide, and then let me adjust this. So now this I'm just going to manually do. It's cutting a hole in the floor right now because it's so low, and we're going to increase this just say ×2, make it super big so it goes blast right through that wall. Okay, and then the other sizes, doorway, what is that, 3 meters high, so it's taller than a person. That seems about right, and we just need to get this other height correct. So it's got to be basically on the floor, so I think 0 is what we want. No, half of that, so we want half of this, so it's like 1.5, which we're probably not going to move that. It's penetrating the base mesh, it's penetrating the floor, which I don't want. So let me just raise it up a nudge, and there's a lip there now. Let me see, just kind of minimize that. Whoops, minimize that lip a little bit. See how small I can get it before it flips out. Virtually non-existent to the naked eye there, but I can see it, but it's good enough. All right, so there's that. It's a very thin doorway. Let's make it wider. 2 meters seems okay. Seems reasonable for a doorway. Seems almost too wide. Yeah, almost too wide. Like 1.75. That feels better. Let's get our person to walk through it. Where are you? Come here. This guy. Yeah, you. Okay, so grab him. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, public place. Door is looking okay. What else? Okay, so there's the doorways. In my little picture here, that's what they have here, and so I'm just gonna do that. Now the last thing I'm gonna try and do, well, I guess I can do these little art things too, walls. These also look like we can just put these in ourselves if we wanted, so we could kind of dynamically place them or something like that. But I want to figure out this little arch thing, so that is the last bit, and I think I'll be all right. I'm just trying to export this, and Unreal is probably still downloading. Yes, okay. Let me run through that. Save. usually use negative. Okay, so yeah, the default is a subtract, so I didn't have to tweak it this, but so subtract A from B, and you can like invert it and stuff. Okay, so that's the next step. I want to do is the archway thing. So I know I need a tube. We're going to start with the tube. I'm just going to look at the base shape of the tube. We're going to change the axis to be laying the other way. Yeah, like that. Okay, so then we're going to put end caps on it. And then, where'd you go? Okay. I'm not worried so much about the size right now as I am trying to get that shape. So it's like a curve. I guess I could, oh, you know, another way to do it is take instead of doing it like this, I could get a cube and then warp it. So get a cube, and let me actually put this as a template view, I guess. Or maybe you need to be the template view, and then you need to be visible. Yeah, okay, so let's do that. Let's bring you in like this. And maybe we bring it up a little bit, and then we'll try and warp it. So I'm never good at using this bend node, but it would be great if I could get this to work. So we're going to come here, and we're going to try and bend this guy. See, like it doesn't do what I want. Like I want it to just work. So there's a thing I've seen like this up here. Let's see if I can find a bottle. Yeah, here's sweep, creep, where's bend, carve. I could draw a curve and then extrude it out, and that would work too. So I might be doing that. I'm just trying to use like the primitives and Boolean, ray, deform probably. All right, here we go. So this bend. So I can click on bend. It says select the geometry to effect. Let me just see if I can make sure I'm grabbing primitives, select groups are connected. Okay, so I want to grab the whole thing, but it's like only giving me one. How come it won't give me everything? Select whole geometry. That's not what I expect. Interesting. Yeah, there's your connected geometry. I don't know why you'd. Okay, that's what you want. Okay. Press enter. Select start and end of deformation. Press enter to deform the entire selected geometry. Yeah, I want to do the entire thing. So I can just press enter. Okay, so I can do the handle. Oh my gosh, that's cool. Okay. So that's sort of there. Okay, so let me try this again. Let me go to, see, so it created this, and it has all these numbers, and that's what I have trouble doing by hand, so I'm going to try this again. So let me turn you off. Let's come here and do this again. So we're going to do bend. We're going to select the geometry, enter. I want to bend you. Is that good? Okay, maybe not. All right, delete. Let me try again. Okay, so here I'm going to undo this. I did something with this 3D selected geometry. It like changed it. I don't know how to turn it off. Geometry groups. Yeah, maybe that was it. Okay, so let's try it again. So let's do bend. Yeah, so I just see if I can just bend that one face. I'm not sure. It seems like it wasn't going to work. Let's just try something different. Yeah, it doesn't quite do what I want. Like maybe I need to think about it differently, like different dimension. I'm about to just draw it myself. Bulge lattice. Okay, so let's do bend here. Weird. Yeah, I don't know. Like I've seen like tutorials of this, and people just make it look so easy. Like, yeah, you just grab this and twist it. Like it's like if I do twist, then it's like, yeah, twist. Just twist the whole thing. Yeah, you can like make a column. This isn't working so well. Oh, you know what? I think my problem could be there's not enough subdivisions. Oh shoot, I'm feeling dumb. Yeah, that's probably the issue. I need to increase this a lot. That don't need so much. I need it to be in this dimension. Yeah, so it can bend. It has nothing to bend. There's no points to bend. So we need to increase this to something more. Now we can, I always forget about that. It like throws me off all the time. Like it doesn't know the intent, right? Like, all right, so primitive breakpoints, all right, 3D connected geometry. Give me the whole thing. Yeah, just give me the whole thing. All right, and there it is. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, yeah, the number of times I forget that, it's astounding. All right, so yeah, we can just have a curve. Like, what is that angle? And this is probably like, I don't know, 30 degrees. I'm not sure, whatever a circle is. Like, you can make it bigger or smaller. So I'll just kind of put it on there and feel it out, and then we'll stretch it out too. Okay, so there's the bend. So Sing 76. Um, so what? That's 30. So that's pretty big. Maybe smaller. 90 is pretty strong, but maybe that's the right number for this. We'll see. I like the 70. Just gonna go with that for now. See what it feels like. We can come change it later if we don't like it. All right, so we have our arch. The tube is really more of a guide. We don't actually need it, but I'm gonna keep it around for just a bit, and then let's try this. So let's do a merge because we have new geo now. We need to add together. So this is your original, and then here's our new. We'll turn them both on, and then let's get this thing sized correctly. So the main thing, we should be able to scale this width-wise. So let me see, we could just do a transform node. And yeah, grab you here. Let's just replace it. So now we got this transform node. We can grab it and move it around. So we can move this back, and we can do the same thing where this is the the parameter from up here. Grab this parameter copy, and then let's go to transform. Paste relative reference, let's do a negative number, and then multiply it times 0.5 to get it to be smaller. Okay, so it's at least positioned, and then now we have to deal with the scale and stuff, so uniform scale might help. Yeah. So I always make it 2.5 for a start. We can lift it up a little bit, and yeah, something like this. And so maybe that number isn't like helping us very much. Also, let me bump this larger. I want it to be like as wide as this. 3.85. See, that looks okay. It's just off position, so maybe this is no good, right? So let me, what is it? Delete channels. How do I revert to previous value as an option? I think there's like a default. Okay, there's 0. I can delete the keyframe. That little green glow is keyframe. Delete channels. Yeah. Okay. I just don't like it glowing green unless it's actually doing something. Okay, so let's translate you over. Just do it by hand. This is where the procedural stuff can start to break down. Is because you're trying to get these algorithms in. Sometimes it's just not worth it. Like I don't want to be tinking with the values sometimes. So it depends on the sophistication. Like, because like this one, see it's not quite 20 like the simple rectangle was, because pivot center point is right here. So we could move the pivot center to that base, and then that 20 number would matter. So like as a part of creating this, we would just need to know that that's going to happen, and then get this moved. So stuff like that. It's like, I don't really care right now. But if we wanted to keep it fully procedural, then that's something we would need to solve. And sometimes it's worth it, sometimes it's not. So what I'd like is to be not necessarily flush, but just close. Yeah. Favorite being in the wall so it doesn't have some kind of weird clip out. All right, and then we're gonna just stretch her. So that's x-axis. So we're gonna scale specifically the x-axis. And oh, there's a crown molding problem at the corner there. Got our little art gallery room. Oh, it's a little big. Snug it in there. There we go. Okay. That should be the same on this side. They should be mirrored. All right, that's cool. Yeah, I think that's all right. And then, yeah, I think one of the challenges, like that art room, it like has a curve here, and so I don't have that. Like, it looks like it's just like crown molding. And like, it does seem to just like run into it. And it has like a, I don't know, let me just do it and see what happens. I'm just gonna, I can boolean it together. Maybe I'll get something nice. So we got this guy. Let's do another transform. It should allow me to kind of copy it, and then I can just do another merge here, so with itself. So you, now you need to rotate. So just push you over here. Oh, that's the wrong dimension. Alright, so this is a little intriguing. Yeah, see, that'll be okay. I just want to get rid of that stuff on the outside. I think I can do that. Like, I'm trying to think of, like, that's fine, but how to get rid of you exactly? Okay, I think I know how. I can say anything that's not colliding. Delete. I'm trying to think, how do I do it in a specific zone? I'm like drawing a blank on how to do this. I could clone and delete on the outside. That's another option. Like I can clone itself and then delete this outer edge here. I could just shift it up and then delete. That might work. Okay, so let me think about this. So we do Boolean. And I want to erase you. So that should purge it. So yeah, now it's gone. But what I want to do is before erasing it, I want to manipulate the position of that. So if I just slide you up. Yeah, and then this is kind of jank, but I have to change the pivot transform now. So to do do this number here, so that it dynamically alters the pivot. So when I uniform scale it, yeah, we get something like that. And then so it shouldn't wipe out the, you need to make it big enough to just like get rid of the stuff we don't want. But also keep the outside. This is probably, I probably don't need to do this. I can just ignore it and let it be. But there we go. Okay, so this, oh, that is not what I meant to click. I did not, why did I click that? Okay, well, it's too late now. Clicked it. All right, so there's that. It's probably fine. It is shaving it like a bit, but I think it's okay. So there's that. So we have this transform here, and we're probably going to want to do a merge for all of these. And so we're going to be doing a number of them. So there's this initial one. So these are the ones we're keeping. These are the positive, and this is the negative space. So we should keep track of that. So this is negative. I'll grab you here. Oh shoot. Whoops. What is it called? Negative crown molding. And we need to do the other one as well. Yeah, still got a little nub there, but that's okay. Okay, and so then we have this guy. So I guess this might even work universally, but okay, let me just do another transform. You can come over here, so you're the first one, so just go, it gets really messy. It's hard to organize. Try and keep it in some sort of similar pattern. 1, 2, and then we'll add a third one in a second. So here's you. Transform. Oh, I messed up something over here. Yeah, this got messed up. So you're, yeah, you need to come into here still. Yeah. Switch the order around just for the nice looks there. All right, so we're going to do another one, and so that'll be 3, and then you need to go into here all the same. I'll try and keep that looking similar. Okay. It's a little... All right, so there's that. And so this sort of, they both wipe out the other one, like on top of the other one. So this one can, there we go. Sort of smooths it out a little bit. It is shaving off some of the original, but I think it's okay. All right, and then we can mirror this guy. So that should work. Like I think it'll be fine if we just mirror this one here. So we come here and then we just do a mirror a view, and we do it on the. Actually, that might have worked already. Put it over here. Mirror. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so here's all that. And so this seems okay. The mirror didn't quite work because it's not subtracting from the other one, so that's not going to take. Okay. So yeah, so we actually do need to copy the whole thing. So we can do another transform because we need the we need you to go the other way. Oh, you're actually facing the wrong direction. Okay. Never mind. If we did a mirror, if we did a mirror after all, and then we just took this, I'm trying to think of what the mirror oh, it should keep original. Yeah, we'll get rid of original. Yeah, this should be okay because it's, yeah. So we got rid of the original, and so this will show up, and then we can just pass it over here and do the transform thing all the same. Okay. We do another transform, and should work. Yeah, I think that was it. So now we have our kind of crown molding shape thing. We're just using booleans, and we can do a little final merge over here, which looks like nothing happened on that spot, but little merge tap step. Okay. And then these are too long, so we'll just shrink them down. And looks like that. Oh, it's because this is this is getting passed into here. Turn that off. Yeah, it's passing both in. Right. So now we just have it passing in the cleaned up result there. So we can clean up the room heading. Just shrink that down. So this guy here. What scale is that? X scale. Just reduce this down. I would just fix the translation and everything all over again. And let me see, I might be able to fix this with dynamically altering the centroid. Is that going to work? And no, it doesn't. Okay, so we have to actually translate it all over. And this is translating it strangely. Like, it's not the x-axis, it's the z-axis. Really weird. Must be because of the rotation. Yeah, this is not doing so well. Okay, I have to. So get it to collide. So we need it to come together there, and then this needs to come forward a little bit. Okay, so that's the right position. Oh, it's a little off, it seems. The rotation's not a perfect 90. Okay. Messing with the scale is throwing it off a lot. I have to alter some of the values again. So like this here, and we'll translate it over again. Yeah, I think the rotation's throwing off the almost there. So maybe 0.5, like 0.53. Yeah, I think that's okay. It bleeds over a little bit, but okay. So there's like a little cut there. All right, so there's that, and then this like transform scale, we can bump it up, and that should dice up more of it. So it's not doesn't have floating geometry there, and this should clear it up. So okay, so we have this like big room now. It can be used for that. All right, I think that'll do for now. I'll just export this as that side needs it here. Export this as a like OBJ FBX, just of course get some things out. And that's just a good like base room. So the way to do that, usually flag it as model out, and then we do auto UV. So there's a labs auto UV, just let it run that. So that'll create UVs here. So then it has something there. Come here. Yeah, there we go. There's the UVs. And so now there's, it can be textured. The walls are really low fidelity, so like we can increase the quality of them, so it can increase the subdivisions. And like, let me see, it's probably not the right dimension. Yeah, might be better. Trying to get get more tiles on. You see the back wall. Oh, yeah, I need to do this wall. That's the wall I'm looking at. So like this, yeah, there we go. So we can do like, maybe it can match the quality of this. So we can copy this parameter and then just do the same thing here for this dimension here. And you are, oh yeah, you're just a copy of the other one, so okay. So kind of come over here, so that should, yes, that's the wrong dimension there for this guy. So this being 20, I don't know what was the default to. Okay, so the up and down part, I think, is right here. Yeah, it's too much, probably. I don't think it needs to be that much. There needs to be more panels, but it's not. Alright, there we go. Finally able to install Epic Games. Okay, there it is. Okay, so yeah, this one. I think this is alright, 10. Okay, just don't want it to have nothing. think we need, this dimension isn't going to help us right now, Z. So, okay, so this one's should be, let me see, how do I see this? Click on it, 40, okay. So, this number might be too small. Yeah, I feel like that's too high quality because things aren't, we're just going to be superimposing things over it with like different objects, so probably not necessary. So that'll round it to 10. That should get us some more on the walls. Although this one's weird. It's like not. Yeah, it's, oh gosh. Yeah, it's like a waste. All those points there. I'm just gonna do this by hand because I don't know what. No, 0. Yeah, it's weird. It's not doing what I expect. Oh, it's just 10. This is 2. This is 40. It's like completely the wrong dimension. 2, 10. Okay, there we go. And then which one? Just get the same slices. It's like. Yeah, just not cutting the same way. I don't really get why. It's like there's the orientation messing with it. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me. It's the same shape, it's just rotated differently. Why is it cutting the verts different? Very weird. I think the same values would cut it the same. 10, 10, 2, right? Oh, this is 40. This is 40. Okay, 40, 10, 2. Okay, that's why. There we go. I should do it. See, it's doing it the wrong way, so. 10, 2. Wow, that doesn't make any sense to me. Which one hasn't had 40 yet? Yeah, very weird. Alright, well that's close enough. Okay. So then there's the texture has something to work with here. And then this is the whole thing is gonna be yeah, that's good. 6,000 verts there, it's pretty cheap. Good for a level. Then we can, lighting effects and stuff and shade, like there's enough verts to play with in the shader, so. Okay. So I've saved that, and then so we're gonna get a ROPNet, and then we're pretty much done just exporting it. ROP network. There's ROP at FBX. Then there's this GLTF, which I, think we can use, but output file, root object. Should just be able to do this. Yeah, and I'll select the thing. So this is one type of file we can output. So I'll just say render current frame. So that's just going to save one file. Let me find this file I just saved. Okay, cool. Yeah, so GLTF is one file type. I'll do OBJ and FBX. So ROP FBX output. And then, so I think something else to consider, like this, the right-handed and stuff, I didn't even see that option in here. With the GLTF one, like I don't know how to flip normal map. Like, so with the FBX, like I'm familiar with like the engines having different hands, like, so we have to figure out which one of these like Unreal does. And let me see. Yeah, I don't know. So I'll probably have to re-export this, but at least for now, I'm just going to leave it as is, and then so export this, and then I'm going to put this in the version control as well. So then maybe an obj. So do a ROP. I want to say it might be ROP geometry. No, it's a native type. So ROP network plane. Okay, no, that's not it. That's for like, so this would be like for VAT animations and stuff, but we just need regular outputs. I'm surprised I actually don't know how to do an OBJ. I've done it earlier before. OBJ importer. Wow, yeah, I'll have to look it up. I don't remember. But I guess that's good enough for now. FBX will do. Then there's GLTF, and there's really nothing fancy about it, so that should take care of things. All right, saving it. So plastic SCM. Pending changes here, there's nothing yet, so the Branch Explorer doesn't have much to show. So let me go to, so you can kind of see the workspace here. And actually I'm not certain if I can, yeah, open an Explorer. So we have this, and then I'll take these files that I just found, and I'll make a folder. Docs. Make a folder for like Houdini stuff, and I'll just start throwing things in. Actually, I'll throw in the hip LC as well. So I'm saving it. It's saved, and then I'll just toss this hip file in as well. So level, although even though it won't really work out the same, but that should be fine. So there's that, and then docs. I can put in the PDF scratch. Okay, that's it. And then come in here. Yeah, we should. Yeah, here we go. So now we can come in here and geometry and Houdini. Come in here and check in. And that's it.